Hello fellow Martians and welcome to Surviving Mars with me, Bubblebox. Surviving Mars is a colony building management type of games, of course set on Mars and with some survival aspects thrown in as well. It's developed by a company called Haemimont Games and is produced and marketed by Paradox Interactive. So essentially it is a Paradox game. Now this game's been featured extensively on YouTube over the last week or so since it got released, and I've been playing it a bit, got about halfway through my first playthrough, which has taken me kind of a couple of hours, but I thought, well, why don't I just restart and put it up on my channel, which is why I'm doing this video today. So we're going to get into a new game. So the first thing you have to do is set up a mission sponsor, because to get to Mars you're going to need a lot of money, and to get money you're going to need your mission sponsors. There's a number of mission sponsors in the game. I'll just go down them reasonably rapidly, and you can pause the video if you want to actually see the different types of mission sponsors and what advantages or disadvantages they offer you in the game. I certainly wouldn't go for International Mars Mission, as it is incredibly easy, and this is not an incredibly difficult game, let's just put it that way. And the difficulty sort of settings on the game are a bit weird at the moment. I'm sure they'll patch that in the future and sort of sort out the difficulty settings. However, we are going to go for Europe. Why am I going to go for Europe? Well, Europe, you get 2 starting rockets, which doesn't sound a lot, but believe me, it's perfectly adequate to start the game. Difficulty normal, funding's decent, research is good for Europe at the start, and as it's a playthrough I want to be getting through the research, at least initially, at a relatively rapid rate to keep things moving forward. Okay, rare metals price, starting applicants are decent, and we get 5 extra starting technologies. They're not researched for you, but they're open for you to view, and then it gives you a little bit more choice as to which researches you start with at the beginning of the game. We also gain a bit of funding every time a tech is researched, and double if it's a breakthrough tech, but we'll get onto that as we get into the game. So Europe it is. So we've got our mission sponsor. Once you've got that, you're going to need a commander to command your mission. So there's a number of commanders again which offer you different benefits, and I'll go down them again relatively rapidly, and you can pause the video if you want to see the individual ones. You can go random, of course, if you don't know what you want to get, but I kind of know which one I want to get. And that one is, can you guess? No, it's not random, it's Astrogeologist. Now with Astrogeologist you start with a rare metal deposit revealed, and they're important for getting you cash in the game from Earth, because you kind of send your rare metals back to Earth and get cash in return. Extractor production is increased by 10%, but more important for me is you get a bonus tech, deep scanning, which allows scanning of sectors for deep deposits near the start of the game, which can keep your anomalies coming in, and I'll explain what the anomalies in if you don't know when we get into the game. So that's this, that's our commander profile. We're going to go for Astrogeologist. And then for our colony logo, these don't give you any benefits at all. There's Mars Express, Voyager, Final Countdown, Serenity, which is quite a nice one, Mr. Handy, the bot, Curiosity, the rover, One Small Step, I assume for man, Mars U, the alien, Family Values, yeah, Paradox, Brussels Sprouts, Biorobot, and Don't Panic, which is the one that we're going to go for. So we've got our mission sponsor, we've got a commander, and we've got a logo. And now we need to choose a mystery. There's a number of mysteries to choose from, and we're just going to start with the power of 3 just for the starting one, as it's my first kind of YouTube playthrough of this. So that's that, and then next, so we've got everything. We now need to load our rocket up with the stuff we're going to take with us to Mars. We've got 2 rockets, but we're going to be taking 1 initially. So there's a number of prefab buildings, and these all cost different amounts, and they all, just as importantly, weigh different amounts. You certainly don't want to be taking a machine, electronics and polymers at the start. They weigh 10,000 kilograms, which fills up the whole rocket. You won't be taking them. Drone hub. Now I'm not going to be taking a drone hub at the start, because I can bring that on the second rocket once I've established the area in which I want to have my base. Moisture evaporator, definitely going to take one of those. You're never guaranteed to land near water. I see a lot of YouTubers just not taking these and kind of finding water, but I've done a couple of attempts and without a moisture evaporator, and if you don't land near water, you kind of just really makes the start of the game a bit of a grind. So we're going to take a moisture evaporator. We can always use it, even if we land near water, we can still use this to supplement our water. So it's definitely worth taking. It only weighs 5,000 kilograms and it costs not too much. Now the fuel refinery, I'm again not going to take that on the first ship. I'm going to leave that for my second ship. But what I am going to take is one Stirling generator. It's a lot of money, but it doesn't weigh too much at 2,000 kilograms. And it's important because it means you don't lose your first night, your first 2 nights without power, as long as you land near concrete. So that's what all I'm going to take as for that. The rest of it's going to be on this side of things. We're going to take the RC Explorer. Again, the RC Rover and the RC Transport we're going to bring in on a later flight, but definitely want the Explorer to start exploring those anomalies nice and early. Everything else we're kind of going to leave. I'm tempted to bring in an extra probe or 2, but I think I might leave. I definitely want a few more drones to get things moving at the start. And we're going to go for 10 drones with our ship at the start of the game. That should do us for the first part of the game as well, especially if we bring in a drone hub to help out. And then we're going to just fill up on orbital probes so that we can just make sure we've got a decent landing spot once we get to Mars. So that leaves us with £3 billion to spend. It sounds like dollars to spend. It sounds like a lot, but believe me, it's not once you get buying stuff in the game. So once we've done all that, we've got to select ourselves. We're actually at Mars already. It didn't take 18 months after all. Who'd have known? It takes a few seconds. And we're at Mars, and once you get to Mars, you've got to find yourself a nice landing spot. There's some pre-made ones if you want to choose one of them. Now, what I want to do, I think, is find one with a decent amount of threats and not too many resources, because I like the resources to be fairly scarce because it encourages the player to have to move around the map a little bit and not stay in one spot because he's got all the resources where he is. And it means it's just a bit more interesting having to work out how to move to a different place and use the different mechanics of the game to do that. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to have a bit of a hunt around for something that's got all the threats and not too many resources. And once I've found it, I'll be right back. Okay, so I think I've found a reasonable spot. We've got 2 pips of metals, 1 of concrete, 1 of water, which isn't a lot. And they're going to be kind of low and very low, most of them I expect, with maybe a couple of average spots. The threats we're going to have dust devils, dust storms, meteors and cold waves at 2 pips, which means they're going to come along fairly regularly during this playthrough. So let's hop in and check out where we're going to land.
Welcome to Mars.
Welcome indeed. Let's quickly pause the game, get rid of the tutorial and check out our starting position. First of all, let's have a quick look at the map. We've got a ridge line along here. We've got an upland area, which is where we've kind of been asked to start, shall we say. And we've got a lowland area down here as well. So let's have a look. We've got 81 metals, surface metals. We've got a concrete, not a massive one, but a concrete supply at least, which is average, which is good. And here's our surface metals and a couple of anomalies to start with as well. And our rare metals are down here in the bottom right, which is a high. Okay, that's really good. That means we're going to get some cash coming in, which will keep things moving forward, at least in the early game when we get our first dome down. Of course, we haven't got water, but we have bought a water vaporizer with us, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. We'll get that down and get that running. So first of all, let's plan out what we're going to do. Shall I do any scanning to start with? Probably not, actually. I think we've got a couple of anomalies exposed. We haven't got any water, but we've got our evaporator. Now, if you are wondering about water and things, these craters, we've got one here in sector D8. There's one also down here in B1. They nearly always have water. So if you do land near one of those and you want to expose some water, I would first scan one of those because they often, or nearly always, it seems to me, have water in. But we haven't got any water around us. We might expose some as we start scanning, but we're not going to start scanning. Or in fact, we'll set the scans up. We'll do a scan over here, I think. I'm going to save my orbital probes until I can deep scan with them, and then we can deep scan. Because if we don't need it, we don't need it. So let's scan around and about ourselves. First of all, there. And then we'll do a deep one there. And then we'll do the ones around the outside. This one's 58%. Yeah, so we'll surround ourselves with scans. And also, I'll just set the research up before we start, because I might forget. So we'll set that up as well before we start laying out our base. Now this, autonomous sensors, I really want early on, because I put a lot of sensors down at the start to get my anomalies coming in quickly. And in fact, you might think I'm a bit crazy, but I put 10 down right near the start of the game to get those anomalies coming in. It gives you 100% sensor boost, or even right at the edge of the map throughout the game. This is also nice as well. Explorer AI gives you 100 extra research points, and this is nice as well. Earth Mars Initiative. So we've got 3 nice researches out nice and early. So we're going to grab, actually we're going to grab sensor bonus. We can that will just help us, really help us with our, not so worried about resources, but I'm more worried about early game. I'm more worried about our energy supply, so that will really help out in that department. And then we'll probably get this one, so that we can move our drone, our robotics research forward, and then this one. So that's quite nice. We've got a couple of anomalies as well, it seems, early on, that might help us out also. So let's get down and start building our base. So we're going to build our first dome, obviously down here. So I'm going to put it in, but I'm going to delete it afterwards, because I want to just plan the base out a little bit. Won't take too long, but it's interesting, I think, and useful to plan out your base before you actually start playing as such. So we're going to probably put our first dome, considering we've got concrete here, we can put our water vaporator pretty much anywhere. So we want everything as compact as possible to make everything nice and efficient as possible. So I think we'll probably end up having our first base. Now I could probably put the water over that way. We could have our water evaporators out on the right there, couldn't we? Probably put it around there somewhere. Then we can have some energy up here. We can have our concrete maker there. Yeah, I think that looks like a reasonable kind of setup. We'll just grab, put the concrete maker down. Yeah, let's put the concrete maker down first, because that's the most important thing at the start. And we've got our Stirling generator, which is going to come in our first ship, which we're going to get momentarily. So that's probably a nice spot for our first concrete maker. Now, have we got much concrete around and about us? I think that's the only concrete we've got exposed. So we're going to want to expose some more concrete fairly close to us, because we're going to want a fair bit of concrete in order to get things done early on and build our first dome. So let's set out where we're going to put our first cabling system. And I think we'll have everything attached at the start. I'm just wondering, oh, that's just in the way there, look. We could go down there, or it doesn't really matter where it goes, to be honest. Could attach it even to the water supply. That might be a bit of a better idea. Could come out this way even, and then go up there. We could have our first, yeah, we could put the first solar panels and that over on this side. That might be an idea as well. We've got to make sure that when we bring our ship in also, we encompass all of those resources, which is, so it's going to have to go. Well, actually, it could go kind of south here a little bit. That would also be okay, or even over here would be okay. Here, it's probably a good spot, because it'll get everything running right and nice and fast, which means probably a good idea, yeah, to put the cable powers, maybe up here, or should I go across here? I can hardly make my mind up. Now, if I put them there, maybe come in a little bit to there. Just quickly check out where I'm going to put, and the ship can kind of go there to start with. I think that's a good start. Yeah. So let's just get a few other things laid down before we start. Now, these sensor, actually, let's lay some power down first. Now, I will have a Stirling generator, which is probably going to pop it on this corner. So if I pop that on this corner, I'll probably have my first drone hub around this area as well. Might be a good idea, covering everything off. So what we'll do, we'll bring out the power cables maybe down here. If I bring them out 5, that's 1 metal, isn't it? And then we'll have our first solar array kind of in this area. Now, how I put the solar arrays out, I'm going to put one out right here. I think, is that right? And then I'll have another power cable just there. And then I surround this power cable here with solar arrays. I think that kind of works. Let's just check that out. Sometimes I get this wrong, but hopefully I've got it right. So we'll just there like that. And like that. And I should get 6 if I've done it right. If I've done it right. Yes, I've done it right. Superb. So I've got 6 solar panels. We're going to put the concrete maker on high priority. And then we're going to be sort of spanning out from here with sensor towers and more solar panels later on, and then we'll get onto wind turbines later, because wind turbines are much better than solar panels in my opinion, but you kind of have to rely on solar panels in the early game because of your lack of machine parts. So you've got to rely on metals, stuff that you can build with metals and concrete really early in the game. However, having said that, we are going to build quite a few sensor towers, and I'm thinking maybe just to come over to this side. So what we're going to do, we're going to hook up our sensor towers. Where should we put our sensor towers? What we can do with the sensor towers, we'll put a little thingy here, just coming out this way. We'll send our power down this direction. We'll put our sensor towers, we can actually just put them over here, I think. Might be okay. So we'll put that there. Oops, missed. Oh, what am I doing? Okay, put that there. And we're going to put the first sensor tower, I'm going to grab real quick, just there. And then I'm going to build some more out from there. And then we're going to be able to cut them off when we get the research, which allows us to use them without power. And I'm also going to up the priority of my sensor tower. Yes, I am indeed. Now, that's kind of it for now. We're going to get rid of the dome. We don't want them to build that just yet. And we're going to get our first ship in. So we're going to put that around here. Make sure it's just quick check to make sure it's covering all of our metal resources that we want it to cover. Kind of around there. Should be able to get, in fact, I'm going to put it up a bit closer to the concrete so it gets that concrete done nice and fast. We'll just speed up just to get the rocket down. And then we'll slow it down just so you can see everyone coming out. And we'll get our Stirling generator down. Or in fact, let's get the anomalies done. Let's get the anomalies sorted out. So we're going to go over to this event anomaly, and the event anomalies are really often or sometimes really good. So we're going to do that one first before we uncover some tech with that one. Out come the drones that you can zoom right in this game as well. They'll just sort of mingle around, and then when they get their bearings on the surface, they'll travel over to the metal. They'll grab some metal, stick it in the back of their little knapsacks or whatever you want to call them, rucksacks, and off they go to build the concrete maker first of all. Now then, we have got also in this ship, we should have it now in our taskbar, in our UI, sorry, we should have the Stirling generator, which we brought along, which is right there. I'm going to stick it somewhere. We'll go up towards these solar panels, so we'll kind of stick it there maybe, just on the corner maybe. We'll stick it, no, we'll go up to here, I think. Yeah, we'll go there with our Stirling generator. We'll put that on high priority as well. That's going to provide 10 power for us, and that's going to power the concrete maker and our first sensor tower. And these are all going to go on normal. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. And then that means we'll have power, hopefully, fingers crossed, if I've set everything up correctly, over the first couple of nights, which is often where people lose power. So let's get things moving again as they continue to build the concrete maker, which just needs another 3 metal, and that'll be done. Comes another one, and up it goes. So he does his thing there and builds our concrete maker. And then that'll start, bring out its big wheel. Oh, it won't yet, will it? No, because it hasn't got power yet. So we need a bit of power. So we need this Stirling generator. The Stirling generator is up, so we just need these cables built, and then we'll have power to power our concrete maker. So what else have we got? We've got some other stuff in our ship. We've got all these materials. We've got our polymers and our other bits and pieces. And we're not going to put some. We're not going to put what are they called? We're not going to put depots down just yet. We're just going to wait for them to get on in building, because they will just go and collect these metals and just build with them. We don't need to put them in a depot.
We've just found Beagle 2, or at least what's left of it.
Superb. Okay, that gives us a tech boost, 10% to all robotics technologies, which is superb early on in the game, because that means that this robotics tree now only costs 900 instead of costing the original 1000. So that's good, because we're going to be getting on to doing that one next. We just need to get these sensor towers first. Sensor towers no longer require power or maintenance, so we're going to get that first, and we're already making inroads into that, which is good. We should also be scanning. Yes, we are scanning. Just checking. Sometimes I forget to put my scans up, and we'll go over and we'll check out this anomaly over here, which will unlock us some more techs in the tech tree. So, my sensor tower, I forgot about that, and we need this one built because, yeah, that needs to be powered, and it will power it through these buildings. So we just need that one built so that that can get powered. So we'll get that onto high priority to get that done as they scurry off to the next metal deposit to grab some more metals. And he's got some metals. They've all got metals. They're all on their way over to build the solar panels. And then once they've done that, I'll set up some depots so they can start collecting materials, and we'll get things moving along nicely. Now, of course, we haven't got a water supply, so we're going to have to rely on water evaporators to start with. In the playthrough I did before this, my first playthrough, which I didn't finish, by the way, because I restarted this just to do videos for the channel, I did have a water supply, so I'm going to be trying to use the water evaporators a bit more, I think, in this game, unless we uncover some water nearby, which is normally the water's over near the craters, to be honest, or in the cold area sometimes has water, and it does say high chance of water down there. So there might be water down here. There's probably water in this crater. It does say there's a high chance of water. There's probably, although it doesn't say it, probably water down in this area as well. But we haven't got any where we are
Anomaly
starting.
Analyzed.
Oh, we've got another anomaly analysed. Let's quickly check out.
There's more to the barren environs of the red planet than meets the eye.
New techs.
A veritable treasure.
So we've got Mars crowdfunding, which would offer us a few more dollars, which we don't really need too early in the game, but we do want that. We do want that, and I'm going to queue that one up. In fact, I might push that forward, maybe, because we're going to want to get our ships back to Earth with lower fuel costs than would otherwise be the case. Also, I could get my second ship in. Now, I don't need it just yet, although we haven't got the extra drones on the drone hub tech, so it might be worth just bringing that second ship in with our drone hub. Might be a good idea. Now, you can see they've built the solar panel, so that now is powered, and they're both powered. The concrete maker and the sensor are both powered by the Stirling generator that I bought in now that it's night time. And you'll see, if we go on to there, we've actually got a power surplus of 3. Okay, oh, we've got a power surplus. Because this must only take 2, does it? Oh, it does. It only takes 2 power. Okay, now next, I'm going to spam out sensor towers. Now, it's going to be pretty expensive on electronics, but it's going to so speed up getting anomalies. So I'm not going to worry too much, and we'll get some more electronics in the next payload. So we're going to build lots more sensor towers, and we're going to build them just like we did these. We're going to build them around a central kind of little hub. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Do 5 for now. That gives us a total of 6, and grab ourselves a power cable just for the center, just there. And I'm just going to put them on a high priority. All of those should be on high priority now. Yeah. And we'll get things moving along once again. Get the little dudes to work. So they're on high priority, so they should do those first of all. And they just need 1 metal and 1 electronics. That will, when we get 10 up, that will exhaust all of our electronic supplies. But again, I'm happy with that. In the meantime, your explorers do run low on fuel in the form of electricity. Everything's electric powered, of course. So we'll send him back to this hub, this cable, so that he can get, or she can get, charged up. Also, we've got to keep an eye on this, because this is going to get clogged up with concrete, which I'm not too worried about early on. The drones will deal with that. So that is out of power, but just because we just need this little hub in the centre here done. As soon as that's done, then that will get power as well, as long as we've got enough. Oh, I know one thing I just forgot real quick. I need some batteries, otherwise known as power accumulators. We need some of them to store our extra power, and we're going to put that on high priority as well, because we're going to need some power for the first night for sure. Yeah, we definitely need that on high priority actually, otherwise we're not going to have enough power. I'm going to quickly change these to lower priority, just so that we can get these batteries done first. The batteries require 3 concrete and 2 polymers, which we have brought with us. So that should be fine as well. I'm a bit disappointed we haven't got any more anomalies to do yet. Now this area is now going to scan.
Sector scan.
And we have an anomaly.
Anomaly found.
Superb. And it's an event. Things are going good. Let's go and grab that event with our rover. Check out what that is. Now while our rover is going over there, I think I might... No, let's do the event first. Check out what that event's going to be, and then we'll bring in our second ship, I think. So we are getting the batteries done, I hope. We've still not done this central nodule here, which is okay, because I want to store this power in the batteries for our first night's, or our second night's power. So I want to get those batteries done, if I can. Sorry about the zooming. The zooming on this game is a little bit awkward, to say the least, but I just need to get used to it a little bit better. So come on, get this built. We need 1 more concrete. Concrete is coming from a fair distance away, so they're taking a little bit of time. There goes the first battery, or power accumulator, otherwise known as a battery. So that will start charging up over time with the excess power from these solar panels. Bring over extra resources. There's the polymers and the concrete, and then they should start building. And we've got our sensor panels, our sensor towers up and running. Scanning that anomaly, very nice. And we're just going to build a few extra sensor towers. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to go up to 10. Not wind turbine, stupid. Sensor tower. There it is. So where should we put our... I might just go out to here. We'll put another bit of cabling in. Just here. The single cables don't ever go wrong, so that's why I'm putting these single cables down. So that's 5, 6, that's 7. And then we need another 7. I've done it again. 7. I think it's because they look similar. 8, 9. I'm going to put the last one somewhere else, just to be different. 8, 9. We'll put it there. No, I'm not. No, I'm not going to put it out. No, I'll just put it here. 9. Will it work there? It will, won't it? 8, 9. Yeah. 10. So that'll give us our 10 sensor towers, use up all of our electronics, but give us a massive boost on our anomaly discovery and discovering other things as well. We've also discovered a lot more concrete.
The Explorer made a thorough scan of the anomaly site, but couldn't find anything unusual.
Or were they? Ooh, that's interesting. That's probably the start of our mystery that we need to uncover as we go along. But unfortunately, nothing for us. But what we have done is we've uncovered a whole load more concrete. Unfortunately, it's right where we want to put our first dome, which is a real pain in the ass. So now, I have a way of dealing with that, and it is simply just grab all that concrete. I know it sounds a bit crazy, but we're going to grab all that concrete early on in the game. So we're going to get loads of concrete makers down. Now this is going to pull on our power, but remember our sensor towers soon will not need power. So we're going to have to grab all this concrete before we put, if we want to put our dome there. Otherwise, we have to change the position where we're going to put our dome, which I don't really want to do, if I'm perfectly honest. So we're going to put one there. We'll put that there. We'll put these back on high priority. Get them built. Get this concrete moving away from this concrete maker, and we'll get another concrete maker built there. We're going to have to build about 3 or 4 concrete makers to get rid of all this concrete, but we'll get it done. We'll get it done. We'll get it done quite rapidly as well. You'll see as they're continuing to collect the metals. I having to go a little bit further away for the metals now. Let's speed the game up a little bit. Check out how the research is coming along. We're well over halfway to autonomous sensors, and as I say, that's really going to help out with our accumulation of power as they are charging up during the day, and we'll get these other sensor towers built. Speaking of sensors, let's check out this. We're on 88%. You can see we've got a 356% bonus there with these sensor towers so far, and we're getting more sensor towers, so that's really going to help. We've also
Sector scanned. Anomaly found.
Another anomaly. Yoo-hoo! Okay, let's grab that, and it's another event. Let's hope it's something decent this time. Okay, so we've got more concrete up there. We've got concrete for days. I only had 1 pip on the concrete when I got this as well. So we seem to have concrete. We seem to have landed in a concrete-rich area for some reason. So yeah. So we've got any metals on this one? We've got 19 metals, 67 metals over there, which is good. So let's continue over here. Get these. All the sensor towers are up. Excellent. This needs to be sorted out because it's getting blocked. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start putting the I'm going to start putting the depots down. So we're going to put our first. I think we'll put our first drone hub there when the second ship comes. We'll put a couple of universals in there, and we'll also put in. Oh, first of all, we'll restrict them from having. We don't want them to have rare metals. I don't want them to have fuel either. Don't want them to have fuel because fuel tends to blow up and destroy all your resources. And then we're going to have yeah, we want the metals in there, and we're also going to want concrete. Yeah, we'll store some concrete in there as well. So they'll get on doing that now. And
we've collected valuable geographic data at the site of the anomaly.
Okay, so we can either have $200 million worth of funding, which I'm not going to take, because we can get 2 drone hub prefabs, which is good, or 4 moisture evaporator prefabs. Now we need moisture evaporators because we ain't got water, and I think we can bring our first. We only need 1 drone hub to start with because our stuff's fairly compact, especially if we get moisture evaporators. So we're going to get the 4 moisture evaporators, which is excellent news. Absolutely excellent. So we've got 4 moisture evaporator from that anomaly. Have we got any other anomalies to do? No, we'll send him back for a quick. Send him or her back for a quick charge then. So we need this concrete maker unclogged because we've got to get all this concrete done. We're going to need to hook this up as well to get this concrete done as well. In fact, we're not too worried about that concrete because it's kind of out of the way, and I'm going to actually put that on low priority. This concrete maker is the one we want to get everything cleared from. So let's get power cables to this hooked up. Just to there would be just fine, I think. Just fine. Get that to there. Excellent. So we'll get that hooked up. And how are we for power at the moment? Of considering we've got all of our power sensors, our sensor towers on power, we've still got a surplus of 5 just with these 5 the array of 6 here, and of course our Sterling generator, which we brought with us.
Sector scanned.
And we've got another anomaly, and it's a tech anomaly. So let's send our explorer off to check that out. Get back centered again. Okay, so I think it's kind of going okay. Okay, so I think we've got a good start. We've got
research complete.
Oh, and we've got our first research complete. So there's the autonomous sensors. So the autonomous sensors are done, and then we're going to get our extra techs. We've also unlocked the low G turbines, and I'm going to want to get onto turbines and wind power as soon as I can because it's so much more effective than solar power. But we are stuck with solar power for the first part of the game. We've also got the low G high rise, which is good for when we want to build our first dome. I'd rather have that than the standard housing that you get at the start of the game. So it's all going quite well, and with that research done, we'll have a quick look, check on our power, which should have gone up quite significantly to 30, which means I'm happy now to build the rest of these concrete makers. And we'll do that at the start of the next episode. We'll bring in our second ship at the start of the next episode, and we'll continue to gather resources and get rid of all this concrete as quickly as we can so that we can build our first dome. If you want to subscribe, if you haven't already, subscribe if you want to see more of this series and others. And bung us a like and give me any comments. If you've got any tips for me in this game, as long as not spoilers for the first mission that I'm doing, then that would be great. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.